Hello and good evening to everybody. I am Anna Sierra. I'm the Chief Development Officer for the Maryland Department of Emergency Management. Senator Kagan here is telling me discreetly to take my name tag off, so thank you. I have the pleasure today of introducing Maryland State Senator Cheryl Kagan, the very proud senator representing Rockville and Gaithersburg in Maryland's Montgomery County. As the state senator will tell you, 3 people have died in her district when 911 failed. The death of her friend Carl Henn in 2010, an environmental activist who was struck by lightning, whose friends could then not reach 911 due to an overload in the system, moved her to action, and she has not looked back since. Senator Kagan and I met sometime later, we'll say in the mid-2010s. With COVID, everything's a little fuzzy these days. She asked to meet with a group of emergency services directors to talk about the next Gen 911 implementation. What she will tell you is that she was impressed because I was a young woman in a room full of mostly men, mostly twice my age. And I didn't hesitate to advocate for the rural 911 centers that I was there representing. What she doesn't know is that I was also thinking, who is this woman? Who is this woman interested in 911? From Montgomery County, no less. And for those of you not from Maryland, Montgomery County is somewhat unique in its affluence and its resources. And there's a friendly rivalry between it and my native Prince George's County, which is on the other side of the DC line. Combine that with the fact that she represents a county that had 75 times the GDP that the county that I had represented. Didn't have a lot of faith or hope that she was really interested in making 911 better for everybody. I kind of assumed that she was looking to make it better for Montgomery County residents because that's who she represents. I do not mind standing here today to say that I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. And I'm glad for it. Senator Kagan listened that day that we met with her. She didn't just cherry pick what she wanted to say. She didn't cherry pick what she wanted to hear. She didn't take what just would be good for her district and leave the rest. It was clear that Senator Kagan really, truly wanted to understand how to improve 911 as a system for all Marylanders. In 2018, Senator Kagan introduced a bill to establish the Next Generation 911 Commission. It lasted for 4 years, where she expertly guided a group of stakeholders from broad backgrounds and introduced landmark legislation that changed the face of 911 in the state. She updated woefully inadequate statutes governing how 911 fees were collected and eligible uses for 911 centers, alleviating the burden, mostly for rural centers that couldn't afford to provide the level of service that we wanted to. She established the Maryland Department of Emergency Management, now my home, and relocated the 911 board underneath the department so that it would have better support and better aligned missions. And she implemented critical cybersecurity requirements and support, something that we continue to battle with this day. Any reasonable elected official would have been proud of that effort and maybe would have stopped there. Senator Kagan did not. She continues to be a tireless advocate for 911 specialists, working hard to pass laws to specify PTSD as a presumed compensable injury under Maryland workers' comp law. She has worked on criminal justice updates, addressing things like swatting, telephone denial of service, distributed denial of service, DDoS and DDoS. I'm not allowed to use acronyms without explaining them when she's in the room. To ensure that innocent residents are protected and that offenders are adequately punished. She might be the proud senator of Rockville and Gaithersburg, but we consider her the proud senator of the Maryland 911 system and Maryland residents who use the system. I'm pleased to offer her the congratulations of earning the second time the Government Leader Award and I look forward to continuing to working with her in Maryland 911 system. So.
So I was told I could speak for about 45 minutes on some of what we've done in Maryland, so you know, feel free to take a seat or something. Anna, thank you. That was wonderful. That was really beautiful. So thank you. This is truly just the highest, deepest, most humbling honor. I have been working on Next Gen 911 for a lot of years, and there has been an outcome to show for it. I want to start by thanking all of the many people, all of the people who have helped me from what's a PSAP to being able to kind of talk acronyms with the best of you. And I have to start with my wonderful friend, Steve Souter. And I called him this afternoon to say how much I adore him and how much I was going to miss not having him here tonight, because one of the best decisions I made was asking him to be vice chair of the commission that I was chairing. And he said yes, and he has been my friend and ally and coach and confidant and mentor and so many things. And so I called just to let him know, because, you know, it was going to be hard for him to get to the Hill. And he said, well, it was going to be a surprise, but I'm in the car on the way to be here with you. And so Steve Souter, I know everyone in this room knows him and adores him as I do, but it's to have that many decades, to have been there from the beginning. He wasn't in Haleyville, Alabama on February 5th, 1968, but he was probably adjusting the wiring or something and making sure that it was working. He has worked all over, and he has been a great friend, and I'm so glad you're here, Steve. Thank you. Also, I see Anthony Myers in the back, the former chair of the 911 board. There are commissioners here. Anna, who ran 2 PSAPs, Anna Sierra, Scott Brillman from Baltimore City, others, mission-critical partners, without whom we could not have done this. John Chiaramonte, your whole team has been so extraordinary. Lori Flaherty, and now Brian Tegmeyer taking her space at NHTSA. And I know I'm not pausing for applause lines, but there's so many people to thank that I'll literally be here like forever. I am really proud of this. And there are 4 of them, 4 annual reports. And if it weren't for Steve and the commissioners and Mission Critical and all of us working together for a long time, we could not have done this. But we've passed 12 laws, enhancing 911. We raised the 911 fee. Steve said, let's call it adjusting the 911 fee structure, because that was easier, and we got that passed. I set up 4 subcommittees. So funding and structure, staffing and training, cybersecurity and technology, and oversight and accountability. And we had 4 amazing subcommittee chairs. All right, I was one of them. But 3 other really good subcommittee chairs who made recommendations to the full commission. And then we moved forward with those recommendations and turned them into bills and then turned them into laws. And for the most part, as the members of Congress said, 911 must be bipartisan. It's literally about life or death. And as my former colleague, who was my partner on this, former Republican colleague, just in his years on the commission, he said, I'm not sure I've ever done anything more important than work with you on this commission, because it is the most fundamental government service. And a lot of other things that government does are nice to have, but 911 is a must-have. There's a lot more I wanted to talk about. Anna talked about I actually have 4 bills this year, even though the commission has ended. I am continuing to work on TDOS, DDoS, on swatting, on workers' comp for our 911 specialists, and 311, because having a statewide 311, and Maryland would be the very first state in the country to have that, will lighten the load on our PSAPs. And so that's really common sense, giving people better access to their government while also helping our 911 folks. We have to get the word out about 988. Too many people don't know about that. That is also going to lighten the load and get people quicker help. So GIS, interconnectivity, interoperability, I mean, there's so many pieces to what you all do. And I think I just want to close. Congresswoman Torres is totally a shero, and I'm bummed. I suspect that she has left. I really wanted to say hello and thank her for her service under the headset as well as in Congress. But every day I'm in the Senate, I wear not just my senator pin, but I wear my headset pin, because the sheroes and heroes, the courageous women and men under the headset who save lives and property every day are truly they're under-recognized, under-honored, underpaid, under-benefited, and I need to recognize Sue Greentree, who spent over 3 decades under the headset, and she's here with us. And for any of you who do that, who put your mental health on the line, never knowing what's going to be on the other end of a phone when you answer the call, we are grateful to you, and we thank you. So thank you again for this award. I made it through the speech without crying, and that's and I do have to close with just remembering Carl Henn, my friend and Anna was kind enough to tell the story, and it was in his memory that I started this work on 911, and it's in memory of others who have been needlessly lost, that we must improve our technology, focus on recruitment, training, and retention of our courageous 911 specialists, and continue to upgrade our hardware, software, and keep moving forward. So thank you all very much. Thank you for what you do.